Hi, my name is Josh Crayley, and today I'm going to demonstrate to you how to play a very basic chord progression on the guitar. Now, the guitar is a super cool instrument that oftentimes sounds a lot more complicated than it actually is. So, I've been playing guitar for a couple of years now, and I'm self-taught, so I'm no master by any means, but I'd like to say that I'm pretty good. So, I'm going to show you a basic chord progression in the key of G. Now, let's talk about the guitar before we start diving into chords. So on the guitar, you have 6 strings, and open they sound like that. So you have your first string, which is this bottom string, this high E, and then your second, which is this B, and your third, which is the G, your fourth, which is the D, your fifth, which is the A, and your sixth, which is the low E. So all together, that sounds like this. And that's not great. It's not really anything. So let's talk about the chord progression. So we're going to be in the key of G today. Now, when I say key of G, that means what we're going to be playing is based around the G scale. So the G scale is as follows: G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and then back down. G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, G. Now, how scales work is a whole nother discussion for another time. Very complicated music theory. But let's get to playing the chords. So we know the names and the numbers of the strings, and we know what the G scale is. So let's find. So the chord progression we're going to be playing today is the 1, 5, minor 6, 4. So we have to find the first, fifth, sixth, and fourth note of the scale and base our chords around those roots. So we have our first note, which is a G, and then we go up the scale to the fifth note, so G, A, B, C, D, and then 6, which is E, and then we go back down to the 4, so E, D, C. So cool, we have our 4 roots of each chord: G, D, E minor, C. Cool, easy enough. So let's start out with the chords. So going from bottom to top, top to bottom. So on the 6th string, you're going to put your middle finger on the 3rd fret right here to play a G. And you're going to put your second finger on the 5th string you're going to put your index finger on the 5th string on the 2nd fret, So that's going to make, you're going to play a B there. So that's G, B. All right, and then the next 2 strings, so the D and the G, you're going to leave those open. So here's what we have so far. Cool. Now let's finish it. So on the 2nd string, put your ring finger on the 3rd fret to play a D. And then on the top string, put your pinky finger on the 3rd fret to play a G. And then all together, that sounds like this. All right. So we have our first chord of the progression. We have our root of the progression. So the second chord we're going to play is a D chord. So the first 2 strings we're going to leave muted. We're not going to play them for this chord. So we're already at the 4th string. So we're going to leave the 4th string open, play a D there. And then we're going to put our index finger on the 3rd string on the 2nd fret to play an A. So here's what we have. And then we're going to add our ring finger on the 2nd string on the 3rd fret to play a D. So here. And then we're going to add our middle finger on the top string on the 2nd fret. So that is the D chord. All right, and then the E minor chord uses all 6 strings like the G chord did. So we're going to leave the bottom string open, E, and then we're going to put our index finger and on the 2nd fret of the 5th string to play a B again. And we're going to put our ring finger or our middle finger on the 4th string on the 2nd fret to play an E. And now the other 3 strings up here, are all left open. So all together, that'll sound like this. And then, so this C chord is a little bit of a different variation from what I normally, or from what people normally use, but I really like to use it. It feels comfortable to me. So we're going to leave the bottom string muted. We're going to put our middle finger on the 5th string, 3rd fret to play a C. We're going to put our index finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret to play an E. We're going to leave the 3rd string open, and we're going to put our ring finger and our pinky finger where we did when we did the G chord, both on the 3rd fret on the top 2 strings. So all together that sounds like this. Now there's a bit of a suspension in there, which is a musical term, but that's besides the point. So right now we have our 4 chords. We've stacked all of our chords, so let's play them all now. Cool. So let's talk about picking patterns now. So one of the most basic picking patterns you see is down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. So you can practice that, and then you can put it together with the actual chords. So let's do that. Let's do it pretty slow. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Down, down, up, 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 down. And then, so that's it. And then you can speed it up. And you can add more notes, you can add more strums, and just make it your own. Have fun. So that is a very basic chord progression. That's the 1, 5, minor 6, 4, for anyone who knows music theory. That's the basic chord progression. Now, make sure when you do this, you're careful with your technique. Make sure you don't bump any other strings, because if you do, you might get something that sounds like this. So just make sure you keep your fingers crooked when you do it, and you're not touching more than one string at a time. And that's it basically. That's your chord progression. So just have fun with it and make some music. Thanks for listening.